Peace, guys. Greetings. Grand rising. Oh, that sunlight right in my face. It is a beautiful, what's today's date? No, today is what? It's Wednesday. Thank you, sweetie. Today is Wednesday, April 14th. And getting going this morning. I did not do any preparation. I literally just got out of the shower. Wanted to get everything around me, get a little beats going on, and it kind of wasting a little time, give people a chance to come on. And in the screen, in the visual, okay, wow, I cannot do two things at one time right now. In the screen, you're looking at some rose quartz and some amethyst. Yep. All right, let's get this. Whoops, how did I close that out? So I guess I'm gonna have some company staring at me while I do this. Okay, so yesterday we did hexagram number 10. So of course that means today we're doing number 11. All right, so let's go ahead, because I literally just got out of the shower and made my black tea. This morning when I got up, first thing I did was take little Nala outside and I put her harness on and put her on the leash, and she actually seemed to have a really good time. And what's really funny is she was out there for about 20 minutes. I washed the dishes, and then all of a sudden I heard this rumbling at the front door, and it kind of startled me. I thought maybe the dog, the landlord has a dog, a big dog. She's an old dog. Her name is Taisley. She's an old black lab. So I thought that Taisley was, doing what dogs do when they see a cat. But actually, it was the cat making all the ruckus. And as soon as I opened the door, she ran into the house. And I was like, okay, Mama, I guess you had a good time outside. All right, so I got the first card, and we're getting this done. Welcome, Divine L. Welcome. How are your kitties, Divine L? Are your kitties doing okay? Is Nell up with you too, or are you the early riser in that family? Okay, I'm getting my number 11 out. Why did I put that there? Awesome. Let's see. Oh, goodness, what am I doing? So today's hexagram is peace, which is wonderful, because when you get to that moment in your life and you realize that, yeah, he seems like a night owl to me. He seems like a night owl. Yeah, I kind of figured that, but I figured I'd ask anyway. Yeah, but it's, it's nice to have a little bit of alone time to yourself, the crisp morning air. And so I have peace, and Benabel Wynn calls it harmony and balance. And guess what I'm bringing out today? Let me move. So that's my rose quartz. And this stone right here, this is, how can I describe this? Honey, please pull that string into your bag. This stone, I actually have had this stone since my second Reiki initiation. My Reiki teacher had it in her shop, and I purchased it, and I sat it under the chair in which I was sitting when she did my Reiki. That's not me making those bodily sounds. I won't say who it is, but it's not me. I know somebody's probably going to try to blame it on me. But anyway, So this stone and I go way back, way back. So today I wanted, I was the perfect mother for 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 boys because I chuckle at body humor. Of course I'm like, okay, you have to say excuse me or don't belch like that at the table, but I find it incredibly amusing. So this, I'm going to bring back the Goddess Oracle. I always enjoyed that, looking at the aspects of the divine feminine that our collective ancestors, because most of us, quite frankly, unless we're like straight from a particular motherland, we all have a little bit of something else in us. And even if we are straight from whatever motherland or fatherland, however we want to do it, the ancients traveled. You'd be surprised. They did. And so we all have a little bit of something in us. I have ancestry from Mali, from Nigeria, from Ghana. I have ancestry from East Africa, from North Africa. I have Norse ancestry, Germanic, French, a lot of Iberian ancestry. So I really enjoy learning about the different divine feminine. So we're going to go ahead and connect with some goddess energy today to get us started. Well, before that, sir, I have my cup of tea. And what's in your teacup this morning? And my teacup, which this is a handmade mug, tossed and made by Sandra Jones, and I believe her husband is Tim Jones. And I have black Assam tea, some local raw honey from the Mennonites, and the little clumps on the top, so I don't have a little whisk, is powdered goat's milk, because actually goat's milk is the closest to human milk, so the proteins are easily to digest. So I'm going to take a little sip of that. And what's in your cup this morning? Oh, organic coffee and organic cream. Will you go, organic mama? Ah, goodness, this feels so good. Okay. Thank you for allowing me to indulge myself. Okay, so we're going to go with the third goddess, Morgane Lafaye. Are we able to see that? I know. I like stuff, so there's a lot of stuff in this window. There we go. Morgane Lafaye. So let's see what Morgane Lafaye has to say. Who is Morgane Lafaye? Okay, let's see. I always have to, I still, at my age, sometimes I have to recite the alphabet in my mind. Okay, wait a minute. M comes before N. All right, so here we go. Rhythms. All right, let me make sure I'm starting. Okay, rhythms. When I dance with life, I dance my own rhythm. I keep my own time. My soul's tides are aligned and flow with my beat, my own unique expression. By honoring myself, I honor all. When you dance with life, what's your rhythm? Is it quick or slow, lively or liturgical? Repetitions or ever changing? Do you let the tempo serve you or unnerve you, soothe you or seethe you, mettle you or unsettle you? Do you know? Ooh, I like that. Wow. Let's see, who wrote this? So the text is Amy Sophia Marashensky, and is illustrated by Harana Janto. And that's awesome. Beautiful poem. Okay, so we're going to look at the mythology of Morgane Le Fay. All right, let me, whoops. Hold on one second. Somehow my cell phone got messed up. I need to fix. All right, hold on one second. There we go. Oh, beautiful. Divine Elsa. She was falling asleep one night and they were calling her Morgane. All right, where are we going? Okay. Morgane Le Fay is a Celtic triple goddess of death and rebirth, appearing as a beautiful young maiden, a powerful mother creator, or death-giving hag. She was also a sea goddess, for her name Mor is Celtic, in Celtic means sea. Her last name has two meanings, the fairy or the fate. I think I'm going to change my last name to Lafaye. How's this? Tamu Ngina Lafaye. All right, I'm in a special mood this morning. In the Arthurian legends, she was half-sister to Arthur. It is said she manipulated Mordred, Morgane and Arthur's son, by getting them to kill his father. As Arthur dies, Morgane Le Fay comes to his aid by spiriting him to the magical island of Avalon, where she heals him, then casts him into a deep sleep from which he will awaken when the time is ripe. Meaning of the card. Oh, and before I get to the meaning of the card, because like when I'm reading, it's so funny how my mind works. When I'm reading, other thoughts kind of pop up and I'm like, yeah, that's a good thing, but I got to finish reading this and hope to goodness that by the time I finish reading, I still remember what I wanted to share. And now I forgot it. No, I'm just kidding. A great movie that I really enjoyed, starring Angelica Houston and Julianne Margulies, and this other female actress, but I cannot remember her name, but she's been in quite a few movies. The Mist of Avalon. That movie is sumptuous. Worth seeing. I really enjoyed it. Okay, so meaning of the card. Morgane Le Fay has come dancing into your life with her drums and her magic to invite you to discover and live your rhythms. What are your personal rhythms? Do you know the best time for you to exercise, sleep, eat, be creative, make love, work, etc.? Or do you spend all your vitality adjusting to the rhythms imposed on you by your work, family, lover, friends? Have you been submerged in the life of another and lived his or her rhythms instead of your own? I know all about that. Perhaps you never discovered your own rhythms because you wanted to please those around you and be one of the team. It is vital for you to live according to your own rhythms. Flowing with your own rhythm brings you greater energy because you are no longer suppressing what is natural to you. Morgane Le Fay says vitality, health, and wholeness are nurtured when you flow with your own unique beat rather than against it. So there you go. I've always, even as a child, was really good at following my own rhythms. And I do notice, as we're constantly learning and growing. And I will be completely transparent and say here, even though I'm very much my own person, very much independent, I do find that within interpersonal, like very, very, very close relationships, like as in, intimate relationships, sometimes I have a tendency to put my own rhythm aside because, and This is an excuse. Okay. I'm only explaining what my reason for doing it. I understand it's very unhealthy and we really should not do it. We must always stand in our own power and stand on our own sacred ground and be willing to meet with each other rather than completely negating ourself, which I think a lot of women tend to do that. And I tend to do that as well. And I know that is I think it's a weakness to do that. And it's something I really have to work on. That when I'm in an intimate relationship, because I love the other person and I want to be there for them, I tend to suppress my own rhythms. Because I guess in my mind, I'm thinking that I'm creating a new rhythm. But I'm understanding that that's not a good thing to do. So for all of you, whether you're male or female, you tend to do that. You know, it's not always a good thing. Have to work on that. Because eventually, as Morgan Lafaye, as the writings pointed to, it will eventually weaken you. It will cause you to get sick. You're going against your natural tendency. Now, that saying, there's a difference between healthy tendencies and healthy rhythms and unhealthy ones and ones that are stunted and aren't growing and are not really serving. Because sometimes you say you get into a relationship but you haven't quite develop your own healthy habits in the first place. So you can get into a relationship and you're staying stuck in your own unhealthy habitual ways. So you're hurting yourself and you're affecting another person. So, it's one of those things where it's a delicate balance and we have to move from there. Okay, so next up, we are going to look at today's hexagram. Let's see, let's put this one here. And how is this one? Okay, can we see both of those? There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Sweetie, can you get her out of the room and close the door? All right, so today we are looking at hexagram number 11. Hold on 1 second. Let me put this one. I don't want to cover the beautiful image. Hexagram number 11. I like the square representation in the circle. Hexagram number 11 is peace, or as Ben Wynn calls it, harmony and balance. And of course, 11 is a what, Divine L? Divine L knows what number 11 is. I'll wait for her to post it. So we're looking at peace, harmony, balance, perfection, and equipoise, a sense of well-being, favorable conditions, expansion. And I think that goes hand in hand. You're better able, oh my gosh, hold on 1 second. Let me get this little critter out. Okay, come on out, close the door. All right, sorry about that. That was a little station break. Make sure that door's closed all the way. Okay. This is what happens when you're a householder. All sorts of mishaps happen. Okay, so number 11. Yeah, Divine L says it's all about the hermaphrodite, 11th house, the twin. It's a big deal, 11. And a master number, right? 11. Okay, so when we hearken back towards Morgan Lafaye, when you are honoring the rhythm of your own self, when you're honoring the sacredness of your healthy rhythm, you have peace within. So therefore, when you are engaging in habits, and even though these habits might be habits that you've had for the last 20, 30 years, they're very unhealthy habits. They're not allowing you to grow and really develop into the human being that you were designed and meant to be. You're not going to have peace. So how do you know when you have peace within? You know, when you're able to sleep in the dark and be okay, you have that peace because you're really truly honoring the rhythms of your own true self. So let's see. We're going to first look at Kursong Hong's direct translation of number 11. He refers to it as peace as well. Small, and that is earth over heaven. Small loss, big gain, all's well. Signs of the sacrifice. And of course, we start with the bottom bagua and then to the top. So we're going to start at the very bottom line. And number 11 represents age of Aquarius. Okay, I see your message, Divine L. Okay. Oh, thank you, Divine L. Okay, so plucking reeds to feed the horse. And of course, little Miss Lady Nala is right in my lap. She likes to come and make herself comfortable. Plucking reeds to feed the horse, using only the stems, auspicious in advance. Divine L, thank you for sending the funds. And she says, no, thank you for your beautiful gifts. I don't want to start crying. Okay, I'm going to get, thank you, girly girl. Plucking reeds to feed the horse, using only the stems, auspicious to advance. When you ford the river with a hollowed gourd, abandon not your friends. Regret disappears. Rewards come in mid-January. No plains are without bumps. Whatever goes must return. Hardship is in store, but no harm will come. Don't mind the penalty. Take the wine with your food. A dandy man lost a fortune on account of his neighbor, the price of unwariness. Emperor Yi betrothed his daughter with her niece as consort. Great auspiciousness. And the last Yao, the wall topples into the moat, hold the army. The town sounds alarm, omen of jeopardy. And let's see. So we're going to look at the line where it says this line number 5, the yin line, which is the middle line in the earth bagua. The 5th line, the middle line. It says, Emperor Yi betrothed his daughter with her niece as consort. And the asterisk on that one says, when a noble woman was married off, a female consort went along to the new household as a second wife. This line refers to King Wen's marriage to the daughter of Emperor Yi of Shang. Her consort, Tai Si, was to mother King Wu, heir to King Wen and conqueror of Shang. That was really interesting. I'm glad that I took time to actually read that. Interesting. Okay. I was about to get caught up in that for a second. All right, so now we're going to look at Benebell Wen's treatment of hexagram number 11. And this hexagram makes up the first two hexagram, which I just noticed that. The first hexagram in the I Ching is heaven, heaven over heaven, right? Is the element heaven over heaven. And then the second hexagram is earth over earth. And so that's the 1 and the 2, the first and the second hexagram. And now we move to, so 9 is a number of completion. 1 is going into the next dimension. And the 10 is going into the next dimension. And so that's sort of like ground zero, like the black hole from which everything springs. And first to spring out of that is 11, which is again earth over heaven. So that was neither here nor there. I guess I could have kept that to myself. So let's go on. I digress. Heaven. Let's see, put that right in there. Creation, the creative force, divine yang, strength and creativity, expansion, expansive energy, the sky, power, authority, the celestial kingdom, the immaterial and intangible. And the element is metal. Okay, baby. Direction is northwest. The season, yellow path. Cardinal autumn. The season, Lo Shu 9 halls. Winter solstice. Life aspect, fatherhood, blessings, allies, friends, opportunities. Medically, all right, honey. Medically is related to the head, the brain, the spinal cord, and nervous system, mental or emotional states. What's wrong? Oh, did I hurt your leg? Let's see. The chakra is the crown chakra. The animal is the horse. The archetype is the philosopher and the sage. The immortal is Han Xiang Ji, patron of musicians. And of course, the empowered state is hexagram number 1. And we're now going to look at Earth. Where is Earth? Earth is the last Bagua, so everything is related. Oh yes, divine. Oh my gosh. This little precious little Nala, she has helped me get through one of a very difficult time in my life. Her love and companionship and just being there for me, I finally understood how a cat could actually be an emotional support animal. I mean, I've always loved cats ever since I was a little kid, but it took me going through a very difficult time in life. And it's like my angels brought her to me. I was driving down the road on my way home, and I've always wanted a gray cat. Well, actually, I wanted one of those solid gray cats because my mother had like 2 of them in my life. One when I was younger. Actually, no, both of them. I think she had, one was when I was a teenager. That was Shaka. And now she has another one whose name is Zulu. Get it? Shaka, Zulu. And he was a muscular, boxy gray cat. So I always wanted one like that. But I was driving home one day, backcountry roads, and I saw a sign, free kittens. And it said 2 of this color and 2 gray, but they were gray stripe. And I was like, gray, and turned in. And I remember the lady, her granddaughter, brought the kitten down. And as soon as she brought the kitten down and put into my little son's arms, I was like, okay, you're big son. Okay, but you're the youngest of 4. Okay, he's an adolescent. He's this close to being a teenager. He did not like me calling him little. Anyway, as soon as he put the kitty into his arms, they put the kitty into his arms, and I looked at her face, and I thought she looked like a little moon. And I was like, that's the one. And we named her Luna at first, but I noticed when I brought her home, she really didn't respond much to Luna. And I remember one night when I was heading upstairs and I was walking up the steps, and I hear in the back of my mind, Nala, call me Nala. And then I was like, Nala, and she ran to me. So I called the lady up who I received her from, and I told her, I said, well, she's not really taken to the name Luna. I think she told me her name was Nala. So that's what I'm calling her now. And she sends me a text back, and she said, actually, Nala is the name that my 3-year-old granddaughter gave her. And I was like, whoa, okay. All about listening to that still small voice. And Nala has been our baby ever since, right?
Yeah, I want a ginger kitty too.
We are contemplating a second kitty cat, but I'm not sure if I can barely handle Nala.
Okay, one or ginger.
And Divine L says, you bet. And that Gabrielle told me I was getting Artemis months before she arrived. Yep, there you go. Okay, so I digress. Let me get back to Bagua Earth. Oh, and let me digress again. I have cat hair. Is there any supplement that I can give her to keep the cat hair from shedding? Cat hair is everywhere. I just put my cup of tea down, and whew, some little cat hairs were just but I love her. They're my baby's cat hair, but they're still kind of gross, but I still love her very much. So I'm not completely grossed out. Anyway, Earth, receiving, receiving direction, yielding, receptivity, submission to heaven, nurturing force, divine yin. Okay, divine L's like, get over it. It's going to be twice a year. Deal with it. Okay. Receptive energy, that which yields, material world. The element is earth. The direction is southwest. And let's see, what was the heaven direction? Northwest. So southwest. Season low of yellow path, cardinal spring. Season low shu 9 hall, summer solstice. Life aspect, love and relationship, motherhood. So that goes with life aspect of heaven, which is fatherhood, blessings, allies, friends, opportunity. Medically, it's related. Oh yeah, that's what I should get, Divine L, is the gloves. I have a brush right now, but I just don't feel like the brush really does it good. But yeah, I'll get those gloves. Yeah, okay. Medically, stomach, digestion, spleen, pancreas. The chakra is the center seed, the beginning of creation. I'm thinking that's also related to like the Dantian, the middle Dantian. Okay, the animal is the bull. Did we get to the animal? The first one, the horse. So this one is the bull. The archetype is the dreamer, the visionary. The immortal is Lon Kai He, patron of artists, creatives, intuitives, and peripatetics. And the empowered state, of course, is hexagram number 2. Oh, Divine L, I'm not sure if I can, I don't know if I'm ready for that. Divine L says, you can wet your hands and pet her and then rinse off your hands. I'm not sure. my son says, yeah, he'll do that. I don't think I'm ready for that. Okay. So, Benabel Wynn calls this hexagram harmony and balance. You are reaching and going beyond yourself. This is progressive. This is good. I like that. I'm going to stop right there and just say, remember how I mentioned earlier, we have Morgan Lafaye, and we are honoring the rhythms of ourselves. And sometimes we find ourselves in habits and habitual patterns that we think are our rhythms, but are they really truly serving ourselves? Or are they hindering us? And the first line of this hexagram, I think, relates to that. in order to grow, we have to be willing to reach and go beyond ourselves, to try new things, to implement new patterns in our life, to see, because if our current pattern isn't giving us peace, and we have to be very careful what we consider peace. Like, for instance, there's some people who feel that every day when they get off from work, they should have 5 drinks, because those 5 drinks give them peace, allows them to calm down. But what we may not realize is that that alcohol that we're consistently indulging in changes our brain chemistry, changes the hormone production in our bodies. And so if we don't do those things, we don't feel like, quote unquote, we have peace. But what we have is not peace. We are being sedated. And when you're sedated, you don't know what's up, what's down. You're just sort of floating in this murky land of nothingness. Or another example, you get off from work and you go to Krispy Kreme donuts and you order yourself 3 donuts because you're feeling super stressed. And the moment you put that soft, gooey dough, sugary dough into your mouth, and then all of a sudden you feel this peace overcome you. That donut, it's nothing but sugar. It's no better than cocaine. You know, it's a drug. It's another drug. So if we receive what we think of as peace from an external source, that's not true peace. And we have to be willing to go beyond ourselves and let go of unhealthy patterns in order to know thyself. And only in knowing ourselves and facing ourself and being willing to look in the mirror at ourselves, or being willing to be in the darkness, in the silence with ourselves, that's where true harmony and balance and peace starts. So you are reaching and going beyond yourself. This is progressive. This is good. You're willing to take risks for others, even if it might mean losing your own position. You negotiate a compromise and observe temperance. You won't regret your decision. Act according to temperance. How many times does that card come up in the last couple of days, Divine L? Act according to temperance, and prosperity shall be gained, shall be attained. The intercourse of heaven and earth, sacred unions, auspicious. 11, harmony and balance, the sacred union with self. Because if you have no sacred union with self, you're not able to have any other type of sacred union. It's going to be superficial. It's going to be built on sand, and it's not going to last. You won't regret your decision. Act according to temperance and prosperity, the intercourse of heaven and earth, sacred unions auspicious. At the end, yield to the natural course of cycles and changes. So there you go. And now, last but not least, we're going to check out what Brother Brian Walker has to say. Divine L says, that's funny. Yesterday, a piece about what happened with our car came over me and I let it go. So no Queen of Swords happened. But I mean, you stood firm in yourself, and you in that intellect and that energy, and that, I think, is also what may have caused that peace to come over you. Okay, so let's look at what Brian Brown Walker has to say about peace. Tia, I like pictures. I like books that have pictures in them, so I'm going to show you this picture. Heaven exists on earth for those who maintain correct thoughts and actions. Ooh, I like that. Heaven exists on earth for those who maintain correct thoughts and actions. This hexagram signifies a time similar to spring. There is a strong flow of energy, and harmony and prosperity are the reward of those who correctly balance their higher and lower nature. Let me try that again because I kind of looked up at the chat. This hexagram signifies a time similar to spring. There is a strong flow of energy, and harmony and prosperity are the reward of those who correctly balance their higher and lower nature. It is by remaining aware of our inferior self while ensuring that the superior self governs our conduct and that we arrive at a state of peace. Let's get that again because this is really important. It is by remaining aware of our inferior self. Now, how, pray tell, do we remain aware of our inferior self? When we're not afraid to self-examine, to examine, and most importantly, accept who we are. I did, I'm currently in a formal training course right now. My meditation teacher training course. I'm in the second level, the 200-hour level. And one of the assignments that our teacher, Nikolai Manic, gave us was to reach out to people closest to us or people that we know and ask them, how do they see us? What is our greatest, what are our strengths and what are our weaknesses? So I have 3 grown sons. So I decided who better to, people that have known me all of their lives, 20, almost 27 years, 25 years, 22 years. They know me, and I figured they will be really bone honest with me. Well, I have to say, my middle son, he, so eloquently put all of my strengths, and then he put up some of my weaknesses. And it was, I recognized them. It was a little bit to see them, but I accept, yes, he is right. I really need to work on those things. My eldest son, he focused on my positive traits. He only mentioned, well, my second son only mentioned one weakness as well. So I guess I'm doing good. My oldest son mentioned one weakness. And it's interesting because the 2 weaknesses that they mentioned were 2 completely different weaknesses. And then my third son, my musician son, he just focused on all of the positive things and how those positive things affected him, and he didn't mention any weaknesses. And I found it very interesting because it's the second son that I get in generally greater conflicts with. And it's interesting because my oldest son, I remember when they were like 12 and 11, and I was complaining about the second son. And my oldest son was like, "Why are you complaining? You two are exactly like each other," which is really funny. And the one weakness that he mentioned, it wasn't a weakness that affected him personally per se, or really anyone else. It was a weakness that affected myself. And so it's just really interesting how the 3 of them see me in different ways. So just wanted to share that. Anyway, I digress. It's interesting. Life is really interesting. Human relationships and the dynamics They're so interesting. And there's sometimes when I think about our greatest weaknesses and the things that we like go crazy about, I always remember, I think I was about between 11, 12 years old. We had these sea monkeys, and they were in, their little sea monkey aquarium, and they were sitting on the back of the toilet. And I remember going into the bathroom one day, and the sea monkeys had been knocked over, and they fell over onto the mop. And the whole sea monkey colony was dried up on that mop. And so now as an adult, when I look back at that, that's what I think of us as human beings and all of the crazy nonsense that we hold on to. We are nothing but sea monkeys. And one day, our entire ecosystem, meaning the psychology and the pathology of being humans and the societal ramifications of being human, one day we're going to all end up like those sea monkeys. But hey, we're going to have fun and tears and laughter till we get to that point. It is by remaining aware of our inferior nature, inferior self, while ensuring that the superior self governs our conduct, that we arrive in a state of peace. See yourself as a young tree now. The ground around you is fertile. Sun and water and wind are plentiful. By maintaining your focus on moving upward toward light, clarity, and purity, you can reach great heights. If you become entangled in inferior things, such as bad habits, you will not enjoy the full benefit of this gracious hour. Stay balanced, innocent, and correct, and good fortune is assured. Oh my gosh, I wish I could show you a picture of Nala in my lap right now. She looks so happy. So there you have it. That is our hexagram. And before we end this live stream, I want to pull a tarot card today. And I decided I will do it from the Vitruvian edition of Benebell Wins Tarot. And her latest edition, Revelation, is out. Let's see. Oh, very cool, Divine L. Okay, hold on one second. Let me get my cards out. Oh, baby girl, baby girl. Okay. And as I get out my Spirit Keepers Tarot cards, I know one other person who also enjoys Spirit Keepers and uses them quite frequently. That's Divine L. Check out her channel. Wow, you are so correct. Yeah, so the first edition of the Spirit Keeper was just the Spirit Keeper. The second edition was the Vitruvian edition that Benebell put out, paying homage to the Vitruvian Man by Michelangelo. No, Leonardo da Vinci. Wait a minute. My brain is a little confused. Leonardo da Vinci. Where did Michelangelo come in at? I don't know. Anyway, Vitruvian Man, and that's why the deck is in sepia tone as well. And the third edition, she started working on actually last year, and the name of that deck is Revelation, and Divine L says it's perfectly named Revelation. We are living in that time. I 1000% agree. So much is being revealed to us right now. Okay, so, and it's a beautiful deck, and I'm so looking forward to the new deck. All right, so we're going to pick a card from this deck. Just want to Shuffle this. We're going to look at the 9th card. And number right. All right. And 9. What is it? Holy water. The Ace of Chalice. Purifying. We are living in a time of revelation, and it is definitely a time of purification. So let's just meditate on that for a moment. This beautiful imagery. The Holy Spirit, this dove, over this beautiful chalice, this vessel of creation, the font, eternal wellspring. See a little crescent moon up there. What else do we have? Lots of flowing rivers of waters. Divine Ale says that debt helped me predict Lebanon bombing and the volcano on the Virgin Islands going off all 3 times, even when and where. Very powerful. Okay, so let's look up holy water. Let's see if I can find it. And Benabel Wen, she is a beautiful, amazing Libra, and she leaves no stone unturned. She's got a little white book, a medium white book. Let's see, is that in there? The medium white book. And then her book of maps is this thick, thick book. So you get all of these books with it. Okay, let me figure out holy water, chalices. Oh my goodness, it's going to take me a minute to... Okay, here we go. Okay, the realm of aces. 4 sacred relics. So we're going to look at the Ace of Chalices. Holy water is the Holy Grail, which manifests as not only your connection to the spiritual universe around you and the unseen energies that influence. Sweetie, is 8:44. Go get ready for your class.
It's at 9:30, remember?
Oh, okay. Sorry. All right. Okay. All right. Let me get back to this. Which manifests as not only your connection to the spiritual universe around you and the unseen energies that influence that which is seen, but the Grail is what nurtures and feeds your soul, that saves your soul, that brings alchemical concord to your life, your emotional well-being, your interpersonal relationships, and your internal sphere. Those who find their figurative Holy Grail will achieve an unshakable sense of inner peace and spiritual conviction. And there, we're going back to peace again. And we're going back to the internal sphere, which I will be so bold to connect that with Morgan Lafaye, and honoring your true self, honoring your rhythms, your personal rhythms. And when you honor deeply who you are, that healthy, you're honoring the superior nature within you. You're honoring the superior forces. You're not being victim. You're not being led by your inferior nature. You're not being led by your addictions. You might think your addictions are your rhythms. They're not. If you still find yourself 20, 30 years later, still circling the same circumstances, the same drain, you are not truly honoring. Go ahead. You're not truly honoring your sacred chalice. You're not truly holding within you your own Holy Grail. So we must do that. So let me get to the full on. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm going to share with you what she says about it, and then we're going to release this segment. Holy water, Ace of Chalices. This is the root of the powers of water, which we know in tarot, water relates to emotions, from which we create everything within our lives. This is the root of the powers of water. When a spiritual or artistic realization is about to materialize in your world, this is the seed of concord, fruitful developments in home and family on the domestic front, or promising prospects in love and relationships. And I would also dare say promising prospects with the relationship with yourself, which is where true and lasting peace comes from. Alchemically, the Ace of Chalices is the purification stage of your path towards achieving your magnum opus. Your world is being detoxified, cleared. Through holy water, you connect to your allies, both among the people in your world who love you and your spirit protectors. The color associated with the chalice, the Ace of Chalices, is white for purification and blue for spiritual serenity. When the Ace of Chalices appears to you, you are about to receive, and what you receive will fulfill. What fills you will wash away past hurts. There is renewal. Hallelujah. I added that hallelujah. A three-tiered fountain contains the essence of the prima materia, or first matter, to begin the great work. The top tier pours forth three streams of the alchemical primes, or tria prima: sulfur, mercury, and salt. In alchemy, the flying dove symbolizes the spiritual force that tempers the opposites. It is the spirit of the divine union. Think union of self. Yoga is a Sanskrit word, and this is me adding. Yoga is a Sanskrit word which means union. What are you uniting with? You're uniting with yourself. You're uniting with the divine within you. Here, the dove symbolizes the presence of the Holy Ghost. I prefer Holy Spirit. The Ace of Chalices is the omen that what you seek now is the pursuit of your own holy grail. The grail itself is inscribed with the ithics, which is, I believe, the fish symbol, ithics, and the circular ithics symbol for Christ consciousness. And this is universal. Don't get hooked up on Jesus and a church. Christ consciousness. Look it up. Embedded into the detailing is also signs for the triple goddess. Bam! Look at that, Divine L. Morgan Lafaye was a triple goddess. The Ace of Chalices marks the alchemist entering the white stage of the work, or white work. It is purification of the, I am freaking getting chills right here. Okay. It is purification of the subconscious and realization of lunar light. White work is meditation, channeling, and you as a receiver of divine communications. Holy water appears to you when what it is you need most is purification, so that you might have a clearer sense of what it is that truly will fulfill you. What truly is your grail. Those who find their figurative holy grail will achieve an unshakable sense of inner peace and spiritual conviction. There we go. That was powerful. I have the goosebumps and the chills. So join me for just a moment. Take your left hand and place it over your heart center. Take your right hand and place it over your left for a moment, and take a nice, slow, deep breath. Hold it for a second, and then exhale. And keep your left hand on your heart, and take your right hand and put on your middle dantian, your dantian just above your navel or just at your navel or right below, whatever area feels most powerful. I can't even talk right now. And just breathe and allow that energy to settle. All right, beloved, I'm going to have to get going because I made a promise to my little one and I want to keep it. I love all of you. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I hope this reading resonated with you. If that is what your path is, please share this video with others. These readings are totally spontaneous. The only thing that we're doing right now is going through the hexagram sequentially right now, so I can get to 64 and maybe we'll start over and maybe we will do it randomly next time. But isn't it beautiful how energetically everything just sort of created this beautiful circle, created this vessel. And I hope within this vessel that you found holy waters to your taste. Okay? I gotta go. Love and light. In that light is divine information. May you be blessed to receive. Go get your water. I wish you peace and great bliss. Please like, or if you don't like this, put thumbs down or put thumbs up. If you're not receiving notifications, you might want to go in and check to make sure. Sometimes you get unsubscribed or sometimes the notification box somehow gets unchecked. And if you really appreciate the content, donations are completely appreciated. You can find me on Venmo, Cash App, or paypal.me at Tamu Ngina, which is the name of my channel, which is the name that my mother gave me before I was born. Tamu means sweet or tasty. I prefer sweet. And Ngina means one who serves. I hope and is my prayer that this session served you well. It served my soul. Much love. Until next time. Oh, and I still got to take the phone out. Until next time, see you later, Gators. Bye-bye. See you later, Divine. A big shalom to Nell. Bye-bye.